Welcome to Grandpa Hill's True Stories. These stories are for my children, my grandchildren, and all children. Right now I'm telling this story to my daughter and her husband and 4 of my grandchildren. One is very old. He's called a man cousin.
He's called David.
And then there's 3 others.
One's a baby.
He's a pretty noisy baby. But anyway, this is a story.
Are you going to tell this story?
Yeah, I'm going to tell a story. This story takes place when I'm 11 years old. That's 1968. 1968. Most of you, all of you in this room were not born yet.
In one more year, I'll be 11.
Yeah, so this is a story about when I was 11. Okay, so in this story, it is in the summertime. And I am with my cousin. It is the only time that my cousin, Michael, came to stay with me at my house. And it was like a blast. He was there for 2 weeks.
Wow.
Cousin Michael. That would be like
That's
my
how
aunt,
long we went to California.
one of my Aunt Charlotte's sons. My Aunt Charlotte had several sons. You know, Tom, Michael, John.
Another
3
John?
sons. Yeah, another John too.
Oh, cool.
But it was Michael that was visiting. And we were doing something that was going to bother my brother, Eugene.
What happened?
We climbed up a tree way up high. Yeah. And we had leaves and twigs.
Oh, you threw them on her.
And when we were in that tree, which was like almost like a half a mile from home, maybe a quarter mile at least, a quarter mile from home, and on bicycles we had gotten over there and we climbed the tree, and Uncle Eugene, I just called him Eugene back then, he would have been pedaling to try to find us, and he didn't find us. He went all the way down the road, down to where the hill was.
And then you threw the
Then
leaves.
he came back, and when he came back from way up high in this big thick tree, we dropped the twigs. And some of the twigs kind of like almost hit him or came close to him. And he seemed a little suspicious, but he was pedaling his bike. And then he went back all the way down to the stop sign.
And then what?
And then we said, oh no, he might come back. And then he will be mad. He's a lot bigger than we were. So we thought it would be a very good idea to avoid his wrath.
What's that?
That means his anger.
Oh.
Okay. And we would scramble down the tree
and then
run across the grass. Not grass, real high grass for us. Like we're kind of small, be about halfway up on us. And make sure the bike was hidden. Get over the other side of the old fence and be very quiet. You wouldn't be able to see anything. And sure enough, Uncle Eugene, he turned around and he came back. And he was looking for us in the grass. And Uncle Eugene's coming close. He gets down to where the tree is and where the problem was. And he looks around and he doesn't see us. Then what do you think we do?
You make him mad again.
No. We jump up and we jump over the fence and we run over towards Eugene and we grab the bike.
That's me.
No. We had to get on the bike.
What bike?
The bike that we had used to get there.
Oh, I thought you.
It was hiding in the grass, and we were hiding in the grass on the other side of the fence. And then, but why would we do that if we were hiding?
I don't know.
Because we were laying there really quiet, and then we heard a noise. And this was the noise.
Bees. You said it was a bee story.
Yes, it's a bee story. We were laying on a bumblebee nest. It was like about 2 feet square. It was huge. And we're both on the nest. And we both have these little yellow and black bumblebees, which look very big to us, crawling all over us. Yeah. So we got up really quick. We weren't worried about Eugene anymore.
Yeah.
And we ran down the road. I grabbed the bike, and then I started pedaling, and then Mike ran and jumped on the back of the bike. And we pedaled all the way home. And all the way home, we're going, oh, oh, ah, and swatting. And they're chasing us and stinging us the whole way home. We were all the way home when they finally stopped stinging.
Oh, wow.
No, it really wasn't that. It really wasn't that. No, I wasn't. It just seemed like it. It was terrifying.
Of course it was.
Yeah, I had about 5 or 6 stings, and I think Mike had about 12 to 15, something like that.
You should have hidden somewhere else.
Yeah, but see, just a minute. I should have, and I also should have learned my lesson. And never do that again.
You didn't learn your lesson.
I did learn my lesson until I was crossing another fence with your mother.
Oh, no.
She was a little girl, and she wasn't 11 yet, but we were on the wrong place, and we wanted to get over the fence.
She got stung by bumblebees, too.
We stepped right on the nest again.
No.
The same nest?
No, different nest, different state. It was in Wisconsin. But you'd think that we would have known that. But what it is that along these old fences, the grass just never gets off of the fence. And it makes like a protective little tent for the bees. And they get in there and they put their nest is right on the ground. You can see it right on the ground. So it's not really the ground to them. They're underneath that grass and all that stuff.
Did Mom get covered in bumblebees?
No, Mom got one. Yeah, she got one sting on her hand, and it was miraculously cured by Mrs. Romo and a grape leaf. And that's my story.
Marshmallow,
Yes, Garth?
have you ever been stung by bees?
No, I don't get stung by bees. I have thick fur that protects me. Besides, I like bumblebees.
Really?
Oh, yes, but they are delicious. And their food supply? It's food.
Marshmallow?
Oh, yes?
What about David? Does he like bumblebees?
I guess you're right. He probably likes bumblebees to look at or to watch, but not to eat. I forget sometimes. I forget I'm a puppet, and I must be careful. If I go to eat bees, David will get stung. Ouch! Ouch! Ouch!
Marshmallow?
Yes, Gorf?
I like bees too.
Why is that?
Well, they are delicious. But they're too fast. Too hard for me to catch.
What about Grandpa? Does he like bumblebees?
I guess so. He probably likes bumblebees to look at or watch, but not to eat. And definitely not to lay on. Sometimes I forget I am a puppet, and I must be careful. I go to eat bees, and Grandpa will get stung. Ouch! 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 Marshmallow, did Grandpa really learn his lesson about bumblebees along old fence lines?
Well, the way Grandpa remembers it, he did learn his lesson. Yes, he certainly did learn his lesson about where bumblebees build their nests.
Well, I think he forgot his lesson and was not cautious with Amy when they crossed the fence line 20 years later.
No, Gorf, I think he did learn his lesson. He just had forgotten to tell Amy about what he had learned about bumblebees and their nests.
Is that why Grandpa tells all these true stories about his childhood?
Yes, Garf, you got it. Maybe a child that is having a great and exciting adventure in the field will be cautious along the old fence lines and not get stung.
Or maybe the child's parents will caution them and they won't get stung.
Yes, Garf, maybe. But sometimes when you are having fun in the fields, running and chasing and playing tricks and hiding, even as a child, mm, you might forget to be cautious and then you'll get stung. Even if you are cautious, you might get stung.
Maybe children better not play in the fields. They might get hurt and stung by bees.
Oh, Gorf, don't you remember Grandpa's bicycle trip stories? Even things that might be hard to do or get you hurt are still worth doing.
Oh, I think I understand. Now let's go play. But no fence lines. I prefer a stream or a small pond with lots of grape leaves.
I just have thick fur, so I won't get stung. But I'll bring some grape leaves for David just in case.
And for Grandpa?
Yes, Gorf. For Grandpa too. Come on, let's go. Maybe we can catch a rainbow trout, or a suckerfish, or maybe a frog. There are lots of tasty frogs in ponds. Grandpa once went frog fishing, you know.
Hey, Marshmallow. Remember, you are a puppet. Frogs are not dinner. They are your friends.
Oh, yes, Gorf. I'm sorry. I was getting carried away. About, how about we build a dam instead?
That's much better. I like to build dams.
Okay. Bye-bye, everyone. Don't forget to share these stories and subscribe so you don't miss another Grandpa Hill true story. They're always true. Or at least as true as Grandpa Hill can remember them.
Bye.